Welcome back to one of our own, and thank you FM21 gods. I don't know whether to laugh or cry. We're still deep in a relegation battle. Form has picked up a little bit, but our rivals can say the same as well. We're still 4 points from safety, but our youth intake has arrived, and whisper it quietly, it says this might be a golden generation. And you know what? I think this time they might be telling the truth.
He's wonderkids! He's wonderkids!
Come on then, let's check these boys out. I've had a little scout through them. It's so much better than last year. Personalities, much better. The changes we made to the coaching staff have clearly had an effect because they're coming through with fairly professional personalities. Physically, they're a lot better as well. It's not like there isn't gaps, but you feel like there's only 1 or 2 areas you've got to work on rather than 6 or 7 gaping holes in their game. Let's start right at the top. Edwin Van Doyen, a centre-back, 6'1". I mean, balanced personality, but look, he can tackle, I suppose. His pace is not terrible. There'd be a heck of a lot of work to get him to first team standard, but we need defenders. But it does get better after him. Carlos Sharp, fairly determined. Determination of 17. He's a passer. Look at the vision on Carlos. Granted, the strength is down. You'd need that to be better. But look at those mentals. I mean, apart from composure, there's not an awful lot to work on there. Maybe a bit of positioning as well. He could be a number 10, Carlos could. And he's come in with a great personality. And he's not the only one. Carl Harker, fairly professional. A little on the slow side, but he can already tackle. Leadership good, bravery good, determination good. Good in the air as well. Carl Harker looked good, and we haven't got to the best of them, kids. Welcome to Fraser Holman, a young striker, fairly professional. Can already finish, has already got the composure, likes to play as a pressing forward. He's 6'3" at the age of 15. Look at the teamwork, look at the work rate, look at the determination. That's the best physicals we've seen on any player to come through the youth academy so far. So Fraser Holman looks like he could be a player. I haven't even got started yet. Regan Minkley, the Mink. Look at him. First touch, lovely. Bravery, determination, flair off the ball. Teamwork, vision, work rate, technique. He's not the slowest in the world. Fairly professional. Personality on top. I mean, we're going to get relegated and we're not going to be able to carry on this save. Imagine the player the Mink could have been. He looks great as well. Max Parker as a goalie. He's got low determination. Little bit disappointing we didn't get a goalie through, but we've got more here. Look at this. Olorunleke Ojo, a young centre-back, 6'2", aggressive, brave. He can pass a ball for a centre-half that's only 16 years old. Tackling's all right. Marking's all right. Teamwork, work rate, really good. His pace you could work on a little bit, and he's already decent in the air. Ojo looks good. And then after that, things taper off a little bit. You've got this guy who looks like a decent left back, reasonable, unambitious personality though, so not so great. You've got Ivan Mulligan, again, professional personality, you'll take that all day. Crossing and dribbling of 7, pace and acceleration 10 and 13. A winger, it's not terrible, is it? And with that personality, you probably think you could maybe work on old Mullers there. Terry Lee, acceleration of 13, crossing 6, dribbling 9. Again, it's okay, fairly professional personality. I'm sure Terry Lee will get a contract. John Ibe is another striker that comes through. Doesn't look terrible, does he? He's quick enough. His finishing's good. His composure's a little bit down, but again, there's things you can work with, and he's coming through with balanced personality. That's one of the best that we had last year. It's just meh this year. So it shows you the crop that we've got. Prosper Abubakari. Again, you'd like your winger to be a little bit quicker in terms of his pace, but crossing, dribbling, passing, all right. Flair is okay as well. Fairly professional personality again. The coaching staff have worked wonders on these boys. We've got Joel Parker who's come through. Temperamental, even though his stats are not bad. Determination of 4. I think we can be picky enough that we don't give Joel a contract just based on his personality. We've got some other ones that probably aren't going to get offered contracts. Lawrence Locke doesn't have great attributes and has got an unambitious personality as well. Jared Miller. Unambitious personality again, probably doesn't have the attributes that you'd think about trying to train him on. We could just let him go last year. Don't think we really had that luxury. And Kieran Evans is right down the bottom here. Coaches have only given him 2-star potential ability. I'm not so sure about this. Fairly ambitious personality. Physicals all look like you could coach them up to double figures. Tackling of 9, marking of 8, crossing of 6 is not a disaster. Aggressive, brave, determination's there. Teamwork down on what you'd like, but given the woes that we've had in the fullback areas, I reckon Kieran Evans would have a chance at making it as well. So this is the crop of youngsters that we were hoping for. Honestly, I think some of these are getting game time before the end of the season. Honestly, I think some of these boys make the bench for today's game. So we've come back for a pretty tough game today, admittedly. We wanted to show you the youth intake. They really do look like a good crop, but they're for a season's or so's time. We're in the here and now, and there might not be another season unless we can start picking up some more results. Look, we have a game in hand down at the bottom of the table there, but we are 4 points behind South Shields and Brackley, 5 points behind Leamington. They've all played a game more. We're playing York today. They are up in 5th. They're a good old side. Form has picked up a touch since the last episode where we were mauled, weren't we, by Spennymoor 4-1. Well, we went and got a draw at Leamington. We had to come from behind, but we scored a goal from an indirect free kick through one of our centre halves, so that was a rarity. And then we had to come from behind again when we played Alfreton, but we did it. Needed an own goal to get us a point, but the Sheriff picked up a goal and forced the own goal as well. So he's back to a little bit of form, and then we got a win. A much needed win. We weren't playing a great team. Fylde are in those relegation places, but Ben Stevens got the goal. His first performance in a little while as well. So look, we're on a 3-game unbeaten run, and given the season that we've had, well, that is approaching something like our best run so far. But we've got some tough games to come. We've got York today, who are 4th. We've got Kidderminster, who are 2nd and could go top of the league by the time they play us. Gateshead are 10th. They're chasing a playoff place. Braintree are 6th. They're in the playoff places. And then we've got a big 4 games to end the season. Boston in 13th, going into South Shields, who are just above us in 20th. Darlington down in 16th. And then we finish the season against bottom of the table Altrincham, who've just picked up a 3-3 draw with 2nd place Kidderminster to stop them going top. So everybody down there is scrapping. Everybody's fighting. I don't see a lot coming for us from the next 2 games. York and Kidderminster are way better than we are. We've switched the formation again, quelle surprise, but this is the one that we played in the last 3 games, and it's got us 2 draws and a win. It means playing wingers. It means the Sheriff going out wide, but he's looked good out there. And Wilson, who's come in on the right-hand side, he doesn't have stellar attributes, but he's solid enough, and he's got a long flat throw, even though he's only got long throws of 9, so we've set that up as well. It means Bickers comes back in up top, 6'4". Maybe he could be a threat from corners, although nobody has been so far in our time at Kettering. So we're going to get out there and see whether we can produce, well, a performance that we're probably not expecting. We're going to need a big team talk. We're going to pump the fists, I think. We're going to say the recent form standings of York in 11th. Well, that's good. Here we go. We've got nothing to lose. We know how good we are. Let's show everyone else what we're capable of. It's picked a few people up. Right, I've got to get the game off 2D and full highlights. I will see you for the kickoff. Here we go then. So in a bid to try and scare up a result, I've been watching the full matches. So that is not good for the old blood pressure, let me assure you. I've been watching them in 2D so I can see the whole pitch, moving them around like chess pieces. It's got us 5 points from the last 9. But today we're up against a slightly better candidate of opposition. Still, we've had a shot. That's at least encouraging. We've gone with a pretty positive mentality the last few games as well, and we're sticking with it. Trying to take them by surprise a little bit, but we're still so weak and vulnerable, especially from defensive set pieces. We've trained them mercilessly. We're set up for them, but we just don't have players that are aggressive and dominant in the air, and it costs us. It really does. The guys that have come through look a little bit better, but I don't think we can get them into the team soon enough for them to make a difference. But we've got a couple on the bench today. We brought the Minkster in there. You never know. We might call on them, although I think it might not be quite the kind of game to bring in some 15-year-olds for their debuts. We've got the Sheriff on the pitch, though. Here he comes. Do something magical. Oh, no, he's given it away. Oh, we've won it back and given it away again, and now they've got a man in behind us. They don't normally miss one-on-ones. In FM21, and Adam Hearn has put them into the lead, and yet again, we're architects of our own downfall. Poor header by Turner. He can't chase his man back. We gave the ball away twice in that. And York are a good side, and they're going to punish you. Okay, this is technically a game in hand. I think the other teams are in action, but we retain our game in hand. We're attacking, which is often dangerous. We've got a pen, though. I make it we've missed 5 of our last 6 pens. Let's see how this does. Oh, it's Bickers on it. And Bickers has tucked one home. We've had all kinds of chats with Bickers over the last month. We've had the arm around the shoulder to pick him up. We've wagged fingers at him to tick him off. We actually had a little chat in the week and said, I'm not sure how much longer you can be at this club unless you score a goal. He scored a goal. Oh no, not a defensive set play though. Oh. Colin is on it, much to our relief. Is that the highlight? It isn't. We've gifted possession back to them. Oh, somebody get a tackle in. Oh no, they've got men over again. Oh, they are airily dominant. Centre halves are 6 foot and 6'1". Not quite doing it for us. Okay, in the dressing room though, and we're not looking too bad. I don't want to say we've been the better team. That's not true, is it? Shall we give them the encouragement and say, I'm happy, keep it up? Let's turn things green. Whether that's a good thing or not, I'm not entirely sure. Let's make a couple of tactical tweaks, then get out there for the second half. Okay, here's the little tweak we've made. I've noticed that they're playing this quite narrow 4-3-1-2, so I've asked my wingers to mark tightly and press hard their fullbacks, hoping that if they do the job of marking their fullbacks, it means that our own fullbacks aren't being pressurised by attacking left backs and right backs that York might have. That's the plan, and there's any rationale in it, I'm not sure. But we've got a highlight and we're on the ball. Richards, again, who's had all manner of conversations recently because he's been pretty sketchy. We got the ball in though. Oh, it's cleared again, and we're going to get counted on again, aren't we? Just when I think we've got a highlight. Oh, we're getting counted on again. Do not let him shoot. I feel like we're going to have to go attacking. Oh, I thought we had an attacking highlight then. When will we learn? Our paceless back line gets us into trouble again, but when we've tried dropping them even deeper, the long shots that have been raining in have been just as big a problem. We're going to have to give them a shout. We're going to fire them up. I think we're also going to have to make a substitution as well. What have we got that we can bring on? Ben Stevens is playing poorly. Heck, do we bring on the Minkster? Do you know what? I'm feeling like we are. We're bringing on Regan Minkley at 16 years old, who's going to play just behind our striker. All right, well, let's just see how he does. Are we? Lorne Bickley's on a 6.8 despite having scored as well. Are we bringing on Fraser Holman? Look, this series is called One of Our Own. If we don't pick them, then what are we really doing? Let's go with a pressing forward on attack for Holman. This could be the only time we get to see these boys in action in a Kettering shirt if we go down. So let's give it a go. Okay, we're going with two 16-year-olds to try and save us as we're in a relegation battle against a very good team. What could possibly go wrong? We've got a couple of our own out there. Imagine if they did something. That would be Mariana-esque if they did. It's not going to happen, granted, but imagine the scenes if they did. We need to win the ball back first, though. And they have got in behind us again, have we? No, we've actually done a little bit of defending quite calmly there. Now let's give them the ball back. Oh no, we've got it, Sheriff. Now let's give them the ball back. There we go. Oh, and they've won it in midfield as well, and they're through again. And he's in again. Oh, God, he has curled one wide. We need more. Oh, we can't give a shout yet. Can't give a shout. Let's demand more. Let's go very attacking. I don't think it's going to happen. We've drifted towards full time. We weren't bad, were we? We're down on the XG, but we weren't bad. In fact, we're not down on the XG. They had 12 shots, 4 on target, but we've had the XG of 1.44. Not far off double theirs. Disappointed, to be honest. No need for the boys to see that, though. We're going to put our hands on the hips just for comedy value. And we're going to say, unlucky boys. It's kept the motivation up. Morale's still surprisingly good in the camp. And we're still 4 points down with a game in hand. I'm looking at this and it looks like South Shields have come from behind against bottom of the table Altrincham and grabbed a win. We got a lot of work to do, but we want it bad now because we've seen the youth intake and I think we can do something with these boys. And if we could get another intake as good as that one again, well, then we really are motoring. If we could get a facilities upgrade and maybe improve some of the youth coaches again, we could get an even better youth intake. I can see how it all works now. I just need the time to put it in place. But it's running out. We have got, 7 games left? We are going to need, I reckon, 4 wins at least if we're going to get another season at Kettering to continue trying to develop one of our own.